Here again at Table Soccer USA Studios, where Paul Eyes is going to talk about offsides.
Okay, offsides, we mentioned it again at the beginning with the field of play. Difference, of course, the shooting line over here. An offside in regular soccer, as you may know, that's only valid from over the halfway line. Here in table soccer, Subbuteo style table soccer, we have a shooting line, and offside only comes into play there. Okay? Now, the offside position, let's put a player in an offside position. Just like in regular soccer, if we have an offensive player who is further advanced than the last defender in the shooting zone, then they are technically in an offside position. And if I was to flick with this setup, we've got the row of defenders here, and I flick forward towards this figure, immediately the ball completely crosses this line, it is offside. Now, and that would be a free kick to the red team in this instance. Now, obviously that's a pretty obvious offside situation. So in the rules of table soccer, we have a way of getting out of offside and also maintaining possession. I need, at this time, if I've got this situation, I'm going to use what we call an onside flick. Or we use the term a tick flick very commonly. I'm going to indicate to my opponent I'm going to use a tick or onside flick. And this is an occasion where I have an option. I can say I'm going to take a tick flick and not play the ball, or I can say I'm going to play the ball, but in this case I'm just going to move this figure into an onside position, which should be on or over this line. So here I go like so. When I do that, the defender, for every time I do this, has a right to a defensive flick. So when the game pauses, he plays his defensive flick. Okay? By the way, I also had an option there of not using a tick flick. I could have said, and I would need to indicate to my opponent that I was going to play the ball, and I would not have used a tick flick. Now I use the term tick flick, and I'm in possession of the ball still at this time. If I had 3 players offside, in this situation, I have rights within one possession, while I have possession at this time, to use 3 tick flicks for one possession. Okay? So the game could play out as so. I would say to my opponent, onside flick or tick flick, I would do like so. He would play a block or a defensive flick. I would say again, onside flick, like so. He would play another block. I would say again, onside flick, like so. Okay? And then I would have used my 3. Of course, if I'd had 4, I have a little bit of a problem ever scoring a goal in this position, okay, and that's more advanced tactics later on. But I only have 3 for one possession, okay, and we always need to wait for the defensive flicks to come in. Again, we need to note that touching the line just with the quadrant rule here, this figure just barely having a little bit of the line here, and this would still be having the line. This figure is technically in both quadrants, and this figure would not be offside. So we see a lot of advanced tactics where attacking figures are often on that line in this area to try to take advantage of the defense. Okay? I think I covered everything on offside for now that we're going to cover. Again, come to Table Soccer USA for all your professional table soccer needs.